Hi, I'm Milton Rendell. Welcome to Real News Friday. Been an interesting week in more ways than one. From a real estate point of view, continues to be busy. Inquiry still seems to be maintaining. In terms of sales in West Australia, 1,094, which is a good figure. Stock levels 7,913. That's down about 2% on about 4 weeks ago. Roughly about the same as it was last week, but probably about up 1% on a year ago. So we seem to be maintaining sort of this just around this 8,000 mark. So it appears to be our new norm for the moment. We will see what goes on going forward. Now, in terms of rentals, 775 properties leased in West Australia last week. There's 2,216 rentals available, which is obviously a low number. That's down 5% on the previous week, down 4% 4 weeks ago, and down 20% to a year ago. So these figures seem to indicate to us that the current trend for rentals will continue. So we'll see continual pressure to increases in rents. Now, the borders have come down, so the Prince has opened the door for us, and we'll see what happens. I think, and we've talked about when the WA opens up, but we've had a fair few variables happen from month to month. Now, obviously, when we had our previous discussions, we didn't have wars occurring, and for the people who have family in Ukraine, thoughts are with you all. Must be very, very stressful for you. I won't get into the politics of it, but something definite for probably all of us here in Australia. Very, very difficult to understand why a person would enter another country and do what they're doing, but we'll steer past that. But hopefully that comes to an end, and hopefully the bad guys lose. I suppose that's the way it looks at it. But getting back to Australia, we've had our own challenges on the east coast, that being Queensland and New South Wales. And I'm wondering how that may affect our migration to West Australia if anyone was coming across. I would suggest now that there's going to be a huge labour demand on the east coast for trades, and that may stop them from coming here. I mean, there's tens of thousands of homes that have been flooded, and the Australian way is usually we hang around to do what we need to do for our brothers and sisters and neighbours. And I have a gut feeling that New South Wales and New South Wales and Queensland, a lot of people will stay where they are, and probably if they were considering coming across here, they'll only come because they have to. So that may affect some of the movement that's been predicted across. I still think there will be. It will get back to talk about population growth and trying to improve the labour situation over here. It will get back to probably a federal decision in terms of migration. So immigrants who come into the country, unfortunately, because of this war, if we describe it that way, may drive some of that. We will see. But I think there's a few balls in the air at the moment that many of us wouldn't have anticipated, obviously, a few weeks ago. So the game keeps changing, and that's how the world works. But I think the economy will still keep clicking along the way it is. Some of the talk about inflationary measures still are out there, but we'll see what these recent disasters and this war does to that. So I think we may enter what I call the tunnel in the next 2 to 3 months as world economies try and sort out what's going on, how this invasion affects the world economy. Share market's been all over the place like a dog's dinner. We're seeing some improvement in the last day or so, but prior to that we saw some fairly large dips, and obviously the Russian economy is crashing like there's no tomorrow. So I think it's going to be a little bit of confusion out there. Some will say it doesn't really affect us. It will eventually in some way. It always does, particularly with the banks. So we'll see where it goes. So we're going to keep our minds open to that. I still think we'll be okay, but I think there may, like I said, go into what I call a tunnel, where the world or even our economy stops and has a look. And also we have a federal election coming up. So we may see some standstill for a while. We will see in the next 3 to 4 weeks if I'm right. But on the flip side, what has happened, disasters seem to have hit before. We go one or two ways. It either goes on hold or there's an acceleration. I'm not expecting acceleration. I still think that the current pent-up demand will keep going for a little while, but there may be a pause in the market at some stage. Let's see if I'm right. Who knows? On the other news, footy, the AFL and the NFL start fairly soon. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page for our footy tipping competition. I encourage you to join, win a few dollars and compete with your mates. I'm looking forward to getting in it. Last year I did absolutely RS, but this year hopefully we can do all right. Open to all our clients and anybody. It's just an open forum in terms of joining the competition, so just keep an eye out for that. There's hundreds and hundreds of dollars to be won. So there's weekly prices as well. Hopefully we'll join. So keep an eye out for the Real Estate Plus for the AFL and the NFL. NRL. We're not America, we're Australia. NRL rugby competitions. Hope you log on and have a bit of fun and go from there. In the meantime, all the best, and again to the thoughts of the families who are affected by the disasters which are occurring on the east coast as well. Those are in Queensland and New South Wales. For those who've got families, our thoughts are with you, and to the thoughts to those who are affected with the conflict over there in Ukraine with the Russians. All the best, and hopefully the world is a little bit more stable and more positive next week. All the best.